Michelle Davis, and my lovely co host Candace Butler. She will be joining us shortly in one of the next segments, but I wanted to officially welcome you to the Style Lounge podcast. Yes, it's finally here. It's finally here. We're so excited because we have so many things in store, and this podcast is a great platform for brides and fashion lovers alike. And that's what the Style to the Aisle brand is. That's what we do. You know, we bring you all things fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. And we cannot wait to just give you so much information and just have a really good time on this platform. So let's get into it. Let's get comfortable. So let's talk about the first installation of our bridal series we're calling First the Dress, Then the Rest. Yes, you heard it. First the dress, then the rest. Let's get into it. So you've met the love of your life, right? And you've said yes, and now it's time to begin to search for the dress. But first things first, we need to dive into some important things for that we want you to think about when beginning that search for your wedding gowns. Because trust me, there's a lot that goes into creating that iconic look, just defining your ultimate style. So we want to just give you some gems, if you will, and just to let you guys know exactly what it all entails. So we all know that fashion never goes out of style. It never goes out of style. However, trends are constantly changing, right? Whether it's ready to wear or whether it's in bridal fashion, trends are always changing. It never stops. However, when it comes to a wedding, think about it. Fashion is the number one topic, the constant topic of conversation and interest when it comes to a wedding. When a couple gets engaged, it's the number one topic. We're not talking about fish or chicken. We're not talking about, are you going to do a sit down or a buffet, or what type of reception is going to be. No, we're talking about the fashion. And so that's what we're giving you right now. We're going to give you, just like I said, some gems that we want you to think about, because there's so much that comes into play when it comes to defining your ultimate style and, you guessed it, choosing your wedding dress. So after a woman has said yes, the next thing she kind of pivots to is, what am I going to look like? What am I going to wear? What are my bridesmaids going to wear? All of that comes into play. So again, like I said, it's all coming back down to fashion. But however, what we want you to do, we want you to identify your personal style, right? So when choosing the right style that fits you, the first thing you would need to do is to know yourself. So knowing what kind of clothes you're most comfortable wearing, whether they make you feel and look like the best version of you. And the same rule applies when deciding on your wedding gown. Yes, we want you to feel like you. We want you to look in the mirror and not, identify with somebody else. We want you to identify with yourself and who you are. So for some brides to be finding that dream gown can be a little stressful or overwhelming. And it'll probably be most likely the first time you've ever even tried on the wedding dress. So it may feel like the pressure is on, and this will probably be the most money that you've ever spent on a wedding dress, because trust me, those fabulous gowns, some of them come with a fabulous price tag. Trust me, we know all about it. However, just so you know, the dress sets the tone, right? The dress sets the tone for the wedding as a whole, whether you're having a grand ballroom affair or a romantic destination wedding on a beach or maybe on an island. Yes, we love those destination weddings. But wherever you're having, your ceremony or your wedding, your options are endless when it comes to a wedding gown. But what does that dream dress mean to you? For some of you that's listening, the dream dress may be a princess ball gown. For others, it may be a modern chic gown that makes a statement. Yes, because we all like to make a statement when we enter the room, right? Then there's other brides whose dream dress may be that one that allows her to have enough movement to turn up on the dance floor, because some of those receptions, yes, they definitely can get, they can get up, they can turn up really quickly, right, sis? They definitely can. So when choosing your gown, remember, and this is a golden gem that we want you to remember. If you don't remember anything else that, we just kind of recommend for you, if you will, for in this series, remember the gown should flatter your body. Your body should not flatter the gown. And I'm going to run it back one more time. Remember, when choosing your gown, the gown should flatter your body. Your body should not flatter the gown. So with that being said, many of us, we've never had the chance to wear a gown to a red carpet event like the Met Gala or the Oscars or the Grammys, like our favorite celebrities, or even maybe, attend a black tie affair, in the area. However, the closest we've probably ever came was high school prom, right? Yes. But guess what? That is until now. The day you walk down the white carpet to say I do. And guess what? I always call the aisle in a wedding the white carpet because I always relate it to the red carpet with celebrities. And however, with my days of being a wedding planner, trust me, I've worked with countless brides. And I've always called my clients my celebrities because if you think about it, you have the bride, the groom, the day's all about them. You have the glitz, the glam, the photographers, the videographers, so I just feel like they're in celebrity mode. So yes, they're my celebs. I love it. Let's get back into it. So when it comes to wedding gown shopping, one of the most important aspects is to buy what fits your body shape. Yes, we want you to buy what fits your body shape or your body type. And you're probably asking, what is she talking about? What does body shape or body type, what does that even mean exactly? Well, guess what? I'm about to tell you. It's no secret that, we're all built differently. Have you ever gone shopping with your bestie or a good girlfriend and you both try on the same style of jeans, even if they were different sizes, where one just fits and the other just looks better than the other? Well, that's because proportionally you're different. And this is why jeans come in a variety of cuts, right? You have your boyfriend to skinny or your low rise to straight leg. And knowing what shape you are will definitely make it easier to find something that fits well, whatever it may be, whether it's, like your everyday wardrobe or, of course, the topic that we're talking about, bridal fashion, right? So it's no different when choosing a gown, and there's so many options out there when it comes to a wedding gown. You have your empire cuts to ball gowns, your trumpets to modified A-lines, and so on. Are you confused? No worries. We got you. Stay right here with this series because we're going to help you figure out what to choose. But the first step is to determine what's your body shape. So for an example, you could be an apple or a pear shape. And no, we're definitely not talking about fruit, nor are we talking about your dress size. So a size 16 and a size 6 woman can have the same body shape. Yes, and it all has to do with our bone structure and our muscle distribution. So we want you to keep in mind the 5 main body types that every woman should become familiar with, and that's the rectangle, pear, triangle, apple, and the hourglass, which is considered the most ideal body shape because of its balanced proportions. You have loads of women, spending hours in the gym trying to achieve that goal of an hourglass figure. But understanding your body figure or your body type is a very important aspect of defining your style. And as a bride, you want to look your best. We want you to look fabulous on your special day, and finding the perfect dress is a must. It is a must, right? So we're here to help you define your ultimate style. And we want you to think of us as, your virtual bridal stylist, because the biggest downfall that we've noticed over the years is that they're selecting a dress that doesn't quite go with their body type. Yeah. So, knowing your body shape or your body type and what style works best on you before you go shopping is very important. And the key is not only wearing a gown that will flatter your body, but it's also to work with what you've got to look amazing in a dress that complements your every move. Right, ladies. So let's get into what I like to call body type, body shape 101. So remember back when I gave you the 5 main body types, we're about to dive deep into those. So the first one I want to get into is the rectangle body type. And this is where you want to create curves. So think of Queen Latifah, Anne Hathaway, Cameron Diaz. Those are some celebrities that have a rectangle body type. But what is a rectangle body type, you may ask? Well, it's also known as a straight body type where, you have someone that has a long and slender boyish figure. They may have an athletic build, a balanced upper and lower body with a quite slender frame, often with little to no curves. Sorry, ladies. However, the key to helping women with this body type is to help her create curves in order to look her best. So the key to do this, you want to split up the body, to draw the eye upwards and downwards. So choosing a gown that maybe, possibly nips you in at the waistline will definitely do the trick of splitting up your body by adding volume to your bust and your hips. Yes, it's gonna, give a balance. So, looking from the eye, it'll give an equal balance for that. So when you're shopping for your wedding gown, there's a couple things that we want you to keep in mind. You may want to consider, gowns with a fuller sleeve or shoulder detailing. The look of a fuller skirt combined with a more dramatic shoulder creates a thinner waistline. And we all want to look slim and trim at the waist. We want that snatched waist, right? So looking at maybe a A-line or a ball gown silhouette, if you want to add more to your hip area, if you're lacking curves, like we said, for a rectangle body type, you want to create them. And a gown that has a top that highlights your natural waist and extends into a voluminous skirt will show off your slim figure, but it will also create an hourglass illusion. Yes. It will create an hourglass illusion. And also with the rectangle body type, necklines can also play a great role in all of this, because if you have, let's say, a smaller bust, you want to choose a gown that has a top that has maybe ruching or beading, which will add detail to your bust line if it needs a little attention. A gown with a halter neckline can help by, giving you a lift to create that cleavage or shape. Also, other necklines you could consider are, keyhole or sweetheart neckline or a scoop, to actually create that illusion of a curve. So with that being said, for, my rectangle body type women, we want you to consider silhouettes such as a sheath style gown or an A-line or empire cut or a ball gown. All of those gowns will actually benefit your body type, and if you want to, personalize it, if you want to add a little illusion of curves without adding bulk or opting, or you can also opt for a belted sash to emphasize your curves and create your waist, whether it be accessorizing with crystal embellishments or just a simple ribbon. A sash will totally transform your bridal look. All right. So we went over the rectangle body type. Now we're going to dive into the hourglass body type. Yes, flaunt it, girl, if you got it. So for someone that has a hourglass body type, you want to think more of Eva Longoria or, of course, Kim Kardashian. Yes, she does have an hourglass figure. With someone that has an hourglass figure, it's a woman that has, their bust and their hips has the same or almost the same measurements with a waist that, definitely is smaller. So for an example, their measurements would be 36, 26, 36. And this also means that, a woman that is a size 6 or a size 16 could be considered having an hourglass type. And that doesn't, necessarily go with the number per se. It's the proportional breakdown of the numbers, and that's how that all balances out. And while this may be one of the easier shapes to dress, like everyone else, they still may run into some fit issues. Having clothes fit properly at the waist probably being the most issue that they would have. And the main goal when choosing a gown for an hourglass shape is to find a gown with a cinched center that shows off your tiny waist. And, if you're looking to show off your curves that you have, with your bust, your waist, and your hips, then of course a fit and flare silhouette is perfect for you. You want to think of your trumpets, your mermaids, or a bias cut gown would also be great choices for that. Something with, ruching at the waist, or a fabulous beaded belt that emphasizes your narrowest asset, or a supportive neckline, with a dramatic flared skirt could also work. And there may be some of you listening who may not want to show off certain areas of your hourglass shape, and that's perfectly fine, and you would rather downplay your curves. So if that describes you, then opting for maybe a ball gown or a gown with more of an A-line skirt would be a great choice, or maybe something with a more modest neckline, like a scoop rather than a deep sweetheart neckline. These design elements will help you highlight what you love and hide what you don't. And the key to confidence with an hourglass figure is showing off that tiny waist or that snatched waist, and the rest is a matter of personal style and comfort. You want to say I do, as I stated before, with your mermaids, or a fit and flare, a A-line, empire cut gown, a ball gown, and even a sheath style gown will also work for you. And just a little nugget, go with a low cut neckline. So low cut styles will expose your neckline and are, they're ideal for an hourglass shape. So choices like, a halter neckline or V-neck and a sweetheart necklines, those are great choices for someone that has an hourglass figure. Opting for a low drop waist or ruched bodice will definitely accentuate your curves and show off your figure. So you want to avoid straight cut dresses. They may be too snug for your curves, and they may also be too loose for your waist. So gathers or pleats in the skirt can definitely make your hips look disproportionate. And the goal is to, goal for, a woman with an hourglass figure would be to choose a gown that flatters your curves, right? So just remember those nuggets. Let's get into the pear shape. Yes, the pear shape. Ladies, we want you to flatter your curves. So if you are a pear shape woman, we want you to flatter your curves. So for, our celebs, we want you to think of Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, even Kelly Clarkson is actually a pear-shaped woman. Yes. The term pear shape, also known as the triangle body type, it comes from the shape of course, an actual pear. Think about it for a second. The top portion of a pear is smaller than the bottom portion. So relating that to the human body, pear-shaped women typically have larger hips, thighs, and bottoms, but their upper body, is usually quite petite. And a pear-shaped woman may also be a split size, meaning that your bust, hips, and possibly even your waist are all different sizes. So this can definitely be this can definitely be challenging when trying to find something that fits well in all the right places. Keep in mind, if this happens to you, definitely you may be a pear. And while you're gown shopping, just keep in mind you want to choose a gown with detail around the neckline. This would actually draw attention to your upper body. If your bottom half is, an area that you would rather de-emphasize, choosing a gown where the skirt maybe skims over your hips and thighs. A pear shape can look great in, you would look great in a flowing gown. More of an A-line silhouette is a great place to start. If you have a pear body type, look for something that, has a unique top that cinches at your slim waist and a skirt that gradually flows away from your body. That silhouette will definitely, it will instantly flatter your figure and allow you to shine with confidence. And if you're one that's trying to hide those hips, we definitely want you to stay away from extreme fit and flares, because that fitted silhouette and full skirt will only accentuate your lower half. However, when it comes to necklines, you want to go with a deep neckline. Deep necklines are, strapless tops that work very well with your body shape. The neckline should flatter your shoulders and your bust. Sweetheart necklines actually does double duty by helping to create that illusion at your neckline, and also gives you a chance to show off your jewelry, your accessories. So finding a gown with a cinched waist, draped bodices will draw attention away from your hips. So if you go with a cinched waist, you can choose a simple sash or go glam and add some bling or beading. Like we said, selecting an A-line skirt will definitely add volume and will decrease the size of your hips. Layers, ruffles, and tulle can also make your look pop. Ball gowns are also a very good choice to soften those hips. Want to avoid though high necklines and full skirts. So with a pear shape, you want to kind of lean more towards A-lines or your mermaids, your empires, or your ball gowns. And to balance the proportions, your dress should have elements that will actually broaden and emphasize the top and de-emphasize your hips. So gowns with wider straps, cap sleeves, a bolero, or a fuller skirt will also emphasize your small waist and create an hourglass silhouette. We all love that hourglass silhouette. So for those of you who are quite happy to flaunt your bottom assets, sis, go ahead. Choose a gown that is more fitted around your hips. Just keep in mind that because you may be a different size at your hips than your bust, you may just need some alterations. Also opting for gowns with maybe poof sleeves, a half or full sleeve treatments, or an off the shoulder look that will extend the shoulder lines. Opting for a bodice adorned with some lace and dimensional beadwork and appliques will definitely help you add some texture as well, and help to draw the focus upward and broaden the top portion, helping to actually accentuate your narrow waistline. So, go with a wedding dress that draws attention to your waist while also highlighting your lower half. A bodice that shapes and defines your midsection, and a skirt that flares from the hips and thighs will not only make you feel like a princess, but it will definitely create a wow-worthy entrance to that wedding ceremony. If you want to personalize, if you feel like the ball gown that you've chosen is too traditional or formal for your style, sometimes you can opt for a gown that has sleeves. It gives a more relaxed and more romantic look. So also an off the shoulder gown with lace sleeves will definitely enhance any bridal style. And that is a wrap for part 1 of First the Dress, Then the Rest bridal series. So stay tuned for part 2.